Wow, that took a weird turn. Evidently, this is decent stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am that I am. Some call me Heru.
Some call me Jadon.
Yes, sir. And this is the Consider Show. Episode 13. And we're going to be talking about political correctness. So, before we get to that, let our sponsors talk to you a little bit. No, we want you to like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear more feedback from you. I have been posting up some pics, asking questions on the Facebook channel, as well as the all the rest of the channels. Even the Instagram can post that.
MySpace?
Yeah, MySpace. Look, MySpace. Woo, we haven't heard that one.
We have
in a
some
long time.
listeners or watchers who probably never used MySpace.
I know. Don't even know it even exists. You know. So comment, share some of your ideology, share some of your knowledge with us. We definitely got some good response lately from some posts from sharing what they like to see on the show. You know, so they was.
So later, I'm gonna take my shirt off and watch. Wow, that took a weird turn. Evidently, this is decent stuff.
Yes, sir. Some sativa. Yes, it's feeling it. I'm feeling that too because it's right in that head. It's messing with the head too. But we definitely gonna get in. We're gonna get deeper with this. We're gonna go right into political correctness, and this is perfect for the cannabis industry, literally, because this is what we're working with here at Consider Group. We're dealing with it on an everyday basis. Even talking with these advertisers and big conglomerate business models that's actually in the industry, you know, and those what's crazy about it, even the locals, man, even the locals giving you a problem about political correctness. What is this? How much you got this? This has got to be there. Boom, boom, boom. And we're all in this thing together. That's what's been tripping me out. But let me go right into it. I wanted to go to actually explain the definition of political correctness, kind of give you a gist or ideology of what's going on, what we're actually going to be talking about, and then we'll go a little deeper, just try to connect the political correctness as far as where we're coming from within this particular realm. So I'm using two sources. Them two sources are going to be dictionary.com and google.com, right? So, and caution you, we don't know nothing on here. I don't know shit.
We're just reading something off the internet.
Yeah, and the basic idea is no political correctness here. We straight up here. And that's the whole point. That's the whole thing I love about Consider, because we keep it real on the show, regardless of what, when, why, how, whatever the case may be. We're getting it done. We're executing. You see what I'm saying?
I know.
And those,
no other way.
Yeah, and those who want to help out, let us know. You know, we want your feedback. We want you on the show. Come on to the show. If you got something very interesting that kind of get people thinking, because that's the key thing here. We want to get you thinking. We want to get you acting. We want to get you moving forward. Solutions. That's what we're offering here. We're just taking our little flashlight, shining our light right over here. Just a little light. That's all we doing. But bring you right back to here, the political correctness, as I read.
Sponsored by.
As I read on. And this was interesting, so the British Dictionary defines political correctness, and I'd rather go from their point of view on this particular dictionary.com, because it broke it down more simple, you know, more easy to comprehend per se. So it was demonstrating progress ideas by avoiding vocabulary that is considered offensive, discriminatory, or judgmental concerning race or gender. So, and it broads over. It's more than that. So yeah. I like how Google defined it. So they said the avoidance, often considered as taken to extremes, of forms of expression or actions that are perceived to include, marginalize, or insult groups or people who are socially disadvantaged or discriminated against. that you couldn't break it down no deeper than that unless you're more, etymologist or something. But at the same time, origins of words or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's like we're working in a realm, political correctness, this political issues that's going on right now. We're looking at Donald Trump, everybody's all up on his grill, whatever the case may be. He's the man and this and that. For a fact, they're not going to put that brother in. I mean, he's the game. And that's what's crazy about him. Political correctness is the game. It's another form of the game. You see where I'm coming from?
He's who you're supposed to pay attention to.
Indeed.
Instead of something else.
Indeed.
Or someone else.
And that's really the chase, the carrot, like you always use. The carrot is right in front of you, but at the same time, it always stay in front of you. It keeps moving. As you move forward, it moves forward. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no backwards, 2 steps back, 3 steps back, whatever that saying used to be. Matter of fact, speaking of that episode,
there's a phrase for you.
Exactly, another phrase,
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Exactly. And these are, that's one of the things with the political correctness I'm having a problem with. Because it's like, those who are actually doing good to humanity or doing good to others, respect. Thankful for certain things. Even if it's a little simple, gesture. You know what I'm saying? We have forgotten. You know what I'm saying? We have forgotten these particular elements or particular issues within our lifestyles. And then we political correct, like certain things back in the day used to be okay to do. Now it's not okay to do it.
Says who?
Exactly. Exactly.
And then it'll go back again.
Status quo, is that what it is? A status quo?
Okay.
I mean, and the key thing, like I was saying, even how political correctness, let's utilize it in the cannabis industry. You know what I'm saying? How I'm working with these advertisers day in, day out. I'm talking to them, corresponding them on email, and we always talking about being accountable, right? Being responsible, right? But then we can't even get back to people. We can't follow up. You see what I'm saying? But then we got this political correctness. This is how you need to do it. You need to come at them like this. This is the way you got to be. You got to be aggressive. If you're not aggressive, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to be into you. They're not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's some sort of official, unofficial way to go about things.
For sure. And it's interesting too. And I want to talk about Alaska on this because we got some serious dualities out there, some serious issues that's really bothering me because I'm like, we supposed to be together as the people, but the people are fighting amongst the people.
Especially in Alaska.
Oh, it's going crazy. It's going crazy. Literally, you got not two, it's a few different personalities out there that's kind of interesting. You got all your growers and people who want to do, just want to strictly grow. They don't want to be about the business. They just want to grow, do their thing. And maybe it's out here in Washington too as well.
Sure, yeah.
But at the same time, you're seeing it within Alaska, especially with this legalization just being, coming about this year per se, or last year. But seeing how certain things are kind of implementing, how they're forcing certain things, and you're like, wow. And then you have these people who are in positions that's taking advantage of the position and kind of like killing the people. Nah, we don't want it for y'all. This is not the game. And that's what I'm saying about the political correctness. We tend to say these things or do these things, but then at the same time, it's not making no sense because nobody understands what you're conveying, per se. And I don't know if that even makes sense, but that, to me, I'm like, wow, how come people are not seeing the bigger picture? And maybe the bigger picture is so small to them that they cannot see it?
Sure.
I don't know.
Of course. That's how it's always been.
It's just been a interesting road. We got these, we got Marlboro coming in the game. They about to come in the game. They got this particular strain they're making, where they're going to be selling, commercially selling. Come on, people. We getting knocked out of the game already. It ain't even started.
It's a surprise. I mean, really,
I know.
I'm surprised it took that long.
Yes, yes. But you know, they always in the works. It's kind of like the Henry Ford.
Oh, they've had their strain for ages. It's what's interesting about that is the political correctness of marijuana. Is not 100%, but is swung or swinging back to the people as the legalization or forms of legalization is happening across the states.
Oh, for
the
sure.
feds are like, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be a group that's still gonna kick and scream and try to lock us all up and stuff like that. But it's done. It's over with. In some, it's not 100% legal, but even in states where it's legal, because there's still all these guidelines and stuff. It needs to be like, I can go down to Home Depot and buy a plant.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no Fed over there or some official
that
is asking for anything for me to buy the plant. I can do whatever I want with it. That's how this should be.
And it should be.
So it's just real interesting that the big corporations are going to be coming in to this game.
Yeah.
They watch. Yeah, you're going to have the big corporations doing their different strains. You're going to have the pharmaceutical company coming in the game and adding a little chemical flair to the marijuana stuff, and it's God's gift to whatever. I mean, that's what they did to fruits and vegetables back in the day.
Yes.
No one's eating fruits and vegetables, or the ones that are eating shitty ones, or whatever. But their pharmaceuticals are taken from plants of some sort and just effed with their chemical processes, and then resold to you at an insane premium.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that guy, and then our food supply is shit.
Oh, big time.
And then we need those pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it works. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about that in the next issue with experiences within the fitness industry. And certain things, like I said, with this political correctness aspect or approach, we're not. I don't think we're not giving ourselves a chance to really think about anything, because we're so caught up in the Facebook or so caught up in the MySpace or whatever, Twitter, whatever the case may be, that we're not paying attention to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Giving back a little meditation, giving back a little reflection, giving back just to take the time to just say, get that breath in there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just giving your time. Like for example, your therapeutic aspect, how you approach it, is through fitness, right? That's how you kind of get back to who you are and whatnot. And I have the same approach. Every workout I do, I go into my meditation. I go into a yoga set and I go into my meditation.
Yep.
So I'm there, and I'm thinking and reflecting back on my life and utilizing other tools. Don't take me wrong. And like I said, I'm very thankful for those of you who's actually in my life. You know what I'm saying? Really showing that people do care. That's one of the things.
It can be depressing out there.
Brother, it's huge.
According
it's crazy.
to the traditional media, mainstream media.
For sure.
We all hate each other.
For sure.
Which is why there's shootings all the time.
Come
That's
on.
all mainstream media.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
they're happening, sure. There is happiness out there.
Big time.
It's there.
Big time.
We all get caught up in the bullshit.
Yes.
But there's lots and lots of good things happening. But you never know it.
No.
You would never know it.
No.
Then you get all depressed about stuff.
And that's why we started, that is another reason why we started Konsider Magazine, Konsider Group. This is one of the reasons, because I wanted to take the time to show people, okay, here we go. We talking about that passion thing. You know what I'm saying? That passion thing. They say do what you love doing, right? This is what I love doing. I love engaging with others about certain subject matters, and it would be nice to be paid for it. It would be great to be paid for that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be awesome. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, I love enjoying fitness. I enjoy certain things, the aspect of even the team, building a team. Like Konsider is growing. People don't notice, but we're growing so big. We're getting so huge where I'm thinking, man, we ain't even moved. This is my thoughts. This is how this society has developed our mindsets, where we gotta see monumental thousands,
and then
hundreds, millions.
And what are people asking? You know, they're asking how many viewers you have, how many readers.
Come on.
You know, how much money did you make this quarter, and profits, and all this kind of stuff. And that is the political corrected way of asking if your business is a success or not. Only we decide if this business is a success or not, because it depends on who you ask.
Exactly.
To outsiders that think a business is a failure unless you're making $1.2 billion a second, this is a failure.
Indeed.
You know, to us,
and that's to all. That's a great point. That's a great point, because that's one thing about relevancy. You know what I'm saying? What is relevant within your life? You know, I mean, we all, like I said, I hope most of us here on the show are out there doing some kind of exercise or some kind of practice. I don't usually like using that word exercise or, you know, working out now. I'm starting to get to the whole point of practice. Practice. It should be a way of life. It should be your lifestyle, really.
It's like the word diet.
Exactly. You know, and see how society has these political correct elements. This is what you need to do. This is how we got to do it. The TV is telling us everything we need to be, how we need to be. This is the political correct aspect of it. But at the same time,
don't offend people.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, you do it every day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You do it every day.
Even if you don't know.
No doubt, you're interacting with people. Certain things you may do, like pick up things, and all of a sudden it's a big, huge thing. You see what I'm saying? So I mean,
you couldn't possibly be talking about someone we knew, could you?
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
But at the same time, just certain elements when you're looking at it on a broader picture. You know, even like taking the time to really see, and that's one of the things too I recognize. You know, when we're watching a movie, we don't engage within each other. You see what I'm saying? It's more like, I'm stuck. You know, instead of the game actually allow us to interact. The game actually allow us to interact. And that's what builds, I guess, build character, you know, builds charisma, you know, builds confidence too. Because then we tend to, okay, I can do this in front of you, I can do this in front of them, whatever the case may be. So, I mean, and that's the cool thing about here, because we can actually practice my pitch, my sales pitch, right? To the people, right?
Life is just a big practice.
And that's all it is. And
no one has figured it out.
No, nobody.
Like literally, because the problem, no one's figured it out because there's nothing to figure out. What is winning the game?
Come on.
Come on, bro. Again, that's the question and the answer that depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, and winning the game. Okay, we winning money. The game is money, right? The game is money.
Or power.
Yeah,
so you get $1 billion, then what? You won?
Exactly.
You're done? You die?
Yes. Come on.
Or what?
You know.
Oh no, I got $1 billion. Oh my God, here. Well, that was easy. Let me get the 2.
Yes.
And then you waste the rest of your life getting the 2. Wasn't 1 enough?
Yeah, it's yeah, and that's what, you know, and how much do we need? Well, obviously we're in a materialistic, I would say a dimension. You know what I'm saying? Now we're looking at these earths and stuff, and we're going to be talking about this flat earth concept. I've been kind of doing a little more research on it. It's very interesting, you know, considering what we have been taught in the school. Lies my teacher told me. I mean, but all these lies we've been told, and lies constantly.
I watched a show called Expedition Unknown on.
Oh wow!
I think it's on the Travel Channel. So this guy, Josh Gates, that's awesome. He's
not his son, is he?
He's basically a real life Indiana Jones. So he's going all over the world and researching different things. Different myths, or people, or places, or whatnot. So the latest one was Genghis Khan. Although he's not actually named Genghis Khan, he's named, if you go there, it's named Chinggis Khan.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, and so what do we think about him? What's the political correct thing to think about Genghis Khan here in the West?
Come on.
He was an evil bastard who killed everybody. You go to Mongolia, He's
man.
God. He's a god, basically. They got huge statues of him. The whole because he united that area. Yeah, he killed people, but
Yeah,
who hasn't?
Yeah,
well, I mean, I haven't.
No,
but I
yeah,
mean, but people in that
when you
position.
talk in this history, yeah.
And so they were trying to find because no one knows where he's buried, right?
Oh yeah, and
so he was trying to find that in the show.
Wow, and you know what? That just brought me to a point. This is what I want to say to the audience. Please listen to this. All these stories we've been told, even from Jesus to Heru to, all these stories are myths. I'm starting to really pay attention.
Well, let's correct that.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah, but we gotta start questioning.
Columbus too.
Yeah, we gotta start questioning, even if they even existed. Because even just the whole point, I'm gonna go on a limb on this one. I'm gonna go on a limb. Even with the Martin Luther King ideology, right? Did he exist? I wasn't there. I didn't get to meet the brother, and I'm sure it was some people. But do we really know his characteristics, as far as what they're putting in these books and all this stuff, what they're teaching?
What did he do? What did he say?
Exactly. Because all you hearing is one speech. I have a dream speech, but they don't fulfill that whole speech. When you listen to the whole speech, it's a totally different context. See what I'm saying? So these are the things. Even with the Malcolm X, even with the I want to just get people to start questioning certain things, because we've been on these ideologies or these particular political correctnesses that we need to start really questioning them. Okay, we're going to allow a few brothers and sisters to learn about this particular issue, about the pyramids, what the Pyramid of Giza, was it really made for that? If we're dealing with a flat earth, obviously it makes sense to a point, where it might have been a landing pad, it could have been a, whatever, magnetic shooting up, whatever, hitting to the star, anything. But at the same time, we need to start really going back, and that's what's cool about history, learning a little bit about history, but at the same time, not taking things literal. You see what I'm saying?
The thing, history is very interesting. I love history. Didn't used to until my senior year.
Yes.
Until I finally had a good teacher. Makes all the difference.
Key
And then
point,
I've
yes.
been history, love history stuff, love watching. That's why I like shows like Game of Thrones, because while it's fictional, like that era or whatnot is historical. They're making the show like it's history.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
There's
What's
funny here, this is gonna blow your mind. What's funny is, we're questioning everything, think about different things. How do we know what's in Game of Thrones is not a history?
And that's my point.
It could be.
Yeah.
It's so, who
be
knows?
It's a story.
Because we're told something that through school that is a very similar storyline.
Yeah, for sure.
In an era, but none of us were there.
No,
so how do we
don't know? And that was
I'm not saying Game of Thrones is our history. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying you have to think about different. Anything is game.
Yeah, we're talking Hollywood. Like
we're not.
Yeah,
we weren't there back then.
For sure.
We don't know what happened. We can't remember what we did yesterday. Yet we're supposed to, like, hundreds and thousands of years ago,
brother.
have details.
Come on. Yeah, you're right.
It's a guessing game.
Exactly. That's why we gotta live our life to the fullest, right? They always say live in the now, but at the same time, you gotta understand where the now is, the present, as they say, not presents, but the present, right? So it's just these things we wanted to kind of give back. We coming around now. We're getting down to our little 1 minute and 27 seconds. So, but at the same time, we want to kind of phrase some things or kind of carve some things out, paint some pictures. Because the key thing here is to question everything. I don't care what it is, question it. Because we're doing things, I think we're taking along these habits, where these habits are really kind of just in the way. We're doing things that don't really have no relevance to. It's just a time waster,
And it's fine to question something and then you roll back to the same conclusion.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're not saying you have to question everything and then do the opposite of what you were doing.
No doubt.
No.
At least you have the understanding.
Yeah,
I want you to get the
actually
understanding.
truly understand what
get the understanding. That's really the point within this political correctness. Get an understanding of what's going on. Get the foundation down. Get some foundations built up first. foremost. But at the same time, question some things. We're down to the 30-second here. Would you like to end with something?
As always, share, comment, subscribe, like. What other things are there?
Instagram,
Follow.
Twitter. Yeah, follow.
I mean, not like in real life, but
Yeah.
well, if you want to.
You can keep that.
You can have a very boring life.
No. You
following me
say
around.
That. Say yeah. But you're right. I don't need nobody following me around or anything like that. I'm cool with all that. But on that note, Hotep.